All right, so now that our settings are coming in from local storage into our state, we want to be able to use these settings and have certain things happen in our application based on them. So for instance, disable balance on add is true. That means on the add form, we want to disable the balance field. So let's go ahead and start with that. So I'm going to just close all of these up, and we're going to go to our add client component, and we want to bring in the settings. Now, as it is now, just Firestore Connect is being exported, but we also need the regular react-redux connect so that we can bring in the settings state. So we're going to have to bring in both connect and compose so that we can use both. And you can see they're already up here, just commented out from earlier. So I'm going to uncomment those, and then what we'll do is go to the bottom here, and instead of exporting just Firestore Connect, we're going to export compose, and inside compose we'll put Firestore Connect, comma, and then we'll do connect, and inside connect we're going to have state and props, an arrow function, and then we want to bring in settings as a property from our setting state, like that. Okay, and we'll add settings as a prop type, and that's going to be an object, and that's going to be is required. Okay, so now that we've done that, we should have access to the settings. So let's go up to the top of the render, and what I want to do is bring in disable balance on add from this.props.settings. So I'm going to destructure and take out disable balance on add, and I want to take it out of this.props.settings, which is available to us because of what we just did below. And then we want to go to the actual balance field, which is right here, and we want to set disabled, and we want to set it equal to that value, whatever's in disable balance on add, whether it's true or false. So let's save it, and let's go back to our app, and you can see it's grayed out. We can't add a balance. If we go to settings and we uncheck disable balance on add, that way it's enabled, and we go and we try to add a client, now we can. Okay, so it's as easy as that. And I really like how we don't have to actually save. You know, we don't have to check everything and then hit save. We can just simply change the state with the check. You see a lot of that in newer apps, you know, recently, rather than filling the entire form out and then saving it. So next thing we want to do is the edit, which it basically is the same kind of thing. So let's go to our edit component. So edit client.js. Let's go down to the bottom. We're already using compose. We're using Firestore Connect. What we want to do is just go down to the regular connect, and let's go right here, and let's say settings. Now this is a little different the way this is set up because we actually did a little bit of destructuring. So instead of saying state.settings, because we didn't actually put state in here, we destructured and took ordered from Firestore. But what we can do is just put a comma right here and also take out settings from the state, and then we can simply do settings like that, or even better, just like that. Okay, so now we should be able to get the value out of this.props.settings. We should be able to take out disable balance on edit from that. So let's do const and disable balance on edit, and we want to take that out of this.props.settings. And then same thing, we want to go down to the balance input and say disabled equals disable balance on edit. So now we'll go and check it out. So it's checked. Let's go to edit, and we can't edit it. Okay, let's go back to settings and let's uncheck it. Let's go and try to edit a client, and now we can edit it. All right, Good, and that's exactly what we want to happen. So now what I want to do for the allow registration, we're obviously going to need to create a registration form and add that functionality. But right now I want to make it so that if we check allow registration, that when we log out, we'll have a register link, a login and register link right here in the nav bar. So let's do that right now. So we'll go to, we can close these up and go to our nav bar component. Okay, and we already brought in settings right here, so we should be able to access this this.props.settings.allow registration. So we want to go up to the top of the render and let's take that out. So we'll say const and say allow registration and take it out of this .props.settings like that. Okay, and then let's see, what we want to do is we need a conditional, we need a couple links that are conditional. So let's go under the null right here. See where we're including these links, the email, the settings, the logout. We're including these if we're authenticated. So now we want to include some links if we're not authenticated and if allow registration is enabled. So I'm going to go right under this null right here and put in another set of curly braces, and I'm going to say if allow registration is true and we're not is authenticated. Okay, then we want to do something else than null. And what we want to do is show the login and registration. So we're going to put in a UL with navbar, or actually it's going to be navbar /nav as a class, and then also ml-auto to align it to the right. And then we'll have an li with the class of nav item. And then let's put a link. So link to, and this is going to go to /login. Let's give it a class name of navlink. Okay, then we'll close that off. And let's see, as far as the text, it's just going to say login. All right, and then we're going to copy this li. And now we want a register link. So it'll say register and register. Okay, so we'll save that and let's go back. And there we go, we have login and register. Now register isn't going to do anything yet, we haven't created it, but let's make sure that if we were to disable it in the settings, it doesn't show. So if we go to settings and we say allow registration no, and we log out, it's gone. Now we can still go to /register. Well, actually, we'll take care of this after because we haven't even created the component yet. But we're going to make it so that if we go to register, if it's not allowed, it's just going to redirect us back to login. All right, so we'll get into that next. We'll create the register component, and that will protect that route.